Hello, this is the Monto Sanchez here with another video. Today's video, I'm going to talk about race swapping. This has become a pretty, I guess, contentious issue lately, mainly with, Little Mermaid, now with Scooby-Doo characters. People are kind of angry that it's being, I guess, I won't say forced. This kind of like reminds me of the gay superheroes. They do this more so to capitalize on a issue than to actually present any solutions to the issue because they're not actually really representing minorities here. Let's be perfectly honest. This is just my opinion, of course, so if you disagree, you're more welcome to do so in the comments section. Just like they're trying to cash in a world view than actually trying to do something about it. Because how can you really say they're representing these groups, Asians, black people, Asian people, black people, Hispanic people, just race swap extremely popular characters who've been a certain race for a very long time, up until this point. Sometimes it's 20, 30 years, sometimes longer than that. These are well established characters, and I think they're too afraid to actually make unique characters because I don't think anyone's going to care. Like the general public, if they really cared about this, they would back original characters. If this is a real issue that people are that want or have change in, then they will support. They will go out of their way to support this stuff. But usually that doesn't happen. It's just it flops tremendously, and when they do these things, that show flops tremendously. Like this new Scooby Doo thing is, I think it's going to flop, along with the Little Mermaid. I don't think it's going to make very good money. Of course, it's going to make money. I don't think it's going to make its money back. But people are just getting more and more angry at this. I don't see how people on the other side see this as representing their race just because they swap the skin color. They're not representing any their values or their history or their culture. They swap the race. That's it. They don't include anything else. And it really reminds me of the whole gay situation with the characters turn certain characters gay. They just want to get these, I guess, brownie points, the SJW points, or whatever the fuck you want to say it is. It's just like they want to cash in on that view without actually caring about it. I think that's the sad part about it. They're using this as a like a revenue, a chance of hopefully to make money off of it, and to actually represent anybody. I think that's a big miss on a lot of these people who support these kind of changes, that they're not actually representing anybody. They're just trying to cash in on a world view or what's kind of trending right now. Hopefully, they get it and get the message that people don't like it when it's forced. When you don't force it and they make original characters, I think it's a lot better that way. I think there's a lot more support if it's not announced or like just like thrown in your face. Usually there's no build up again. Really seems like no reason to swap these characters races because there's no way we could do it the opposite way around. Like we could put Black Panther as a white man. This shit would hit the fan. Let's be perfectly honest, but we can do it the opposite way around, and there's no backlash. Feels kind of strange, especially as a centrist as myself, where you do kind of see the other side of the left It's mainly the left that supports this, and the right is completely against it. That's usually like the huge divide that I see, at least. When you, in reality, it shouldn't really fucking matter. But thing is, usually it does because they lose money on this kind of stuff. You make them gay, or you swap races, or you make them trans, uh, a trans person, or race swap the person, and there's no reason for it. Just decide to virtual signal. Hey, we did it. We're representing minorities. Like how? In what way? This is not a solution to the problem that they're proposing that they have. I think that's the biggest issue I have. It's not a solution. It's part of the problem, if you ask me. And if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. I think that's part of the problem. Is like they don't really actually give two fucks. They don't set it up. They don't actually try. If they try, they just make original characters. But they don't. They have to do it established. I get why they do established characters. As I said, in the gay turn, superheroes gay. I get why they do it because it's too much of a risk. Because it's what, maybe 5% of the population. You're trying to, well, 95% of the population is not that. You're not going to be successful at 5%. You have to represent more than 5% of sales to actually be successful. You'll get more than probably 5%, but let's be honest, you can probably get like 20 or 30, but even that is a terrible investment. You have to make more money than you put into some of these things, and it usually just completely fucking bombs because people are just don't want it. It's forced, and people think it's forced at least, and they don't want it forced. No one complains about these other characters that were in, video games that were black, were women, like until it's seemingly out of place and forced. Battlefield 5, seemingly out of place. No one complains about Lara Croft. That's a huge example. That's just an example in just the video games. Also, Ridley from fucking Aliens. Same thing. No one complained about her. No one's like, oh, that's fucking unrealistic for a woman. No, because they established her and they did a fucking amazing job at it. That's just some examples I'm throwing out that people have grown to love. There's a huge fan backing towards these people. That's what works with race as well. No one points it out unless other people do. That's the sad, I think, thing about it. If no one really pointed it out, people can just enjoy it for what it is without somewhere in the back of the head, oh, this character's black, that this character's uh, uh, is trans, or they're bi, or whatever it may be. I think that's the biggest problem we have is them trying to force it onto people when it could be a natural progression to get where we're at. And as I said in the other video, if I was part of this group, I'd be extremely upset and angry at they just can't make original characters without them thinking it'll fail or them cashing in on a, a subject that should be taken seriously, but they're not taken seriously at fucking all, from where at least where I think. So we get the same result as making superheroes gay with the swap of a race. You get angry and resentment because it's just being forced upon you, and if you don't like it, you're a racist. You're a transphobe. You're a homophobe, etc., etc., etc. You're, and that's just not how we go forward. That's pretty much what I have to say. Thank you for listening. Rate, comment, subscribe.